What are these screws that are around all the sliders and the doors and the windows? Some are painted, some aren't painted. Pretty much everyone I show a house to here in Cape Coral asks me that question. Okay, so chances are if you buy a home in Florida, you own a home in Florida, you're gonna have these little screws all around the windows and doors. They're called sidewalk bolts. I don't know whether they're called sidewalk bolts, they got nothing to do with sidewalks. Most people call them hurricane shutter anchors or screws or bolts, and that's exactly what they do. They hold your hurricane shutters to the house. Now, living in Florida most of my life, I'm able to button up my house in about an hour, and it's thanks to this one tip. Now, thankfully, they don't get used very often. They just sit in place and wait for the next hurricane party. Hurricane parties are awesome. Now, whether you bought your home last week or you've owned it for years, you need to do this right now. I mean, like right now, this weekend. So go down to the hardware store and get yourself a can of white lithium grease. I like WD-40 because it doesn't gum up. The other brands tend to kind of get gummy. And so get yourself a can of this, because if you live in the water, you're gonna need this in your life. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is grab a drill and zip these bad boys out. Don't do that. The main reason you don't wanna do that is if you hit this and it's seized up, it is gonna strip faster than your drunk uncle at a pool party. So what you wanna do is get these started with a screwdriver and just give it a couple of turns and make sure that it's not locked up and get it started. Then you can hit it with the drill. Now, most of these modern drills come with an adjustable clutch, so it doesn't turn so hard. You want to take it out, you don't want it on the highest setting, you want it on one of the lower settings so that it'll have some give. So if it does start to seize up, which a lot of them will do, this won't strip it out. Then you can go back, maybe put some regular WD-40 on it, and then hit it with the screwdriver again, and back it out slowly, and then maybe finish it up with this. All right, so now that you've got these out, the ones that aren't boogered up, you can spray with white lithium grease. If you did booger them up a little bit or they got stripped out, then you can put the new ones in, but you want to spray those too. So just give them a little bit of a coat, screw them back in. Now, I usually do this every spring before it gets too hot, and if you've never done it, it's a good idea to do it now. And the reason I say to do it now is because you don't want to be going down to the hardware store when hurricane blew your away is about 3 days out and Jim Cantori's on his way and all the procrastinating jabronis are fighting over plywood. Not a good scene. You want to get it done now. Now, if you got the kind that uses wing nuts, take the wing nuts off. Don't leave them on while they're not being used, because almost every single one of them is going to be seized up when you need them. And so you want to take those off, spray the post with white lithium grease, and then get those rubber covers that cover up the post. That way they'll be ready to rock and roll when you need them. You can use a tool. They make a tool that removes it. It's a wing nut removal tool. Keyword, remove it. Remove it with the tool. Don't put it on with the tool. If you zip those wing nuts down, I speak from experience, with that tool, it'll cross thread a lot of them. And then they are really hard to get off. So hard to get off, a lot of times they'll snap the post. Then you gotta replace the post, the whole thing. It's a lot of frustration. So leave them off. When it's time to put them on by hand. Now, when you're ready to take them off, they're great for taking them off, but don't use them to put them on. There you have it. Do this once a year and you'll be glad you did. You won't be messing with it when the time comes, and it's a lot less stressful. Be able to button your house up in an hour and get ready for that hurricane party.